There is a famous story in the Talmud. A peddler once wandered through the towns of Israel calling out, "Who wishes to buy the potion of life? Who wants to buy the potion of life?" Curious, Rabbi Yanai approached him and asked him, "Hey, show me your potion." The peddler opened a small book of Psalms and pointed to the verse of Psalm 34, verses 13 and 14. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chaim, ohev yamim lirot tov, netzor leshoncha merra usfatecha midaber mirma. Who is the person who desires life, who loves days to see goodness? Guard your tongue from evil, and your lips from speaking deceitfully. Rabbi Yanai then exclaimed, "All my life I have read this verse, but I never truly understood it until this peddler explained it. The secret to life is guarding one's speech." In the double portion of the Torah, Tazria and Metzora, we have a ritual, even a physical image of what, according to the rabbis, happened when speech went wrong. The person was afflicted with sarat, a mysterious skin disease that then this person had to be separated from the community. The sages interpreted sarat not just as a skin condition, but as a divine signal of moral failing, most famously for the sin of Lashon Hara, evil speech. What is Lashon Hara? Well, gossip, cynical comments, cruel jokes, harsh criticisms, telling someone's private story without their permission. It is even speaking true statements that damage someone's reputation without a constructive purpose. Lashon Hara destroys trust. It shatters communities. It isolates individuals. And so, fittingly, the person afflicted must live outside the camp, not as a punishment, but as a spiritual quarantine, a sort of a timeout, a chance to reckon with the power of words. If you cannot live in society with responsible speech, you cannot live in society. In every generation, the Jewish tradition has warned against the dangers of speech. No one devoted themselves to this more than Rabbi Israel Meir HaKohen of Radin, also known as the Chafetz Chaim. He took his name from this very verse, Mi ha'ish hechafetz chaim, the one the peddler quoted. The Chafetz Chaim, Rabbi Israel Meir Kagan, devoted his life to one of the most overlooked and yet most powerful aspects of religious life, speech. His groundbreaking work, Sefer Chafetz Chaim, is more than a legal manual. It is a moral vision. He meticulously gathered the halachot, the laws of Lashon Hara, of gossip, of harmful speech, and he elevated them into a call, a more conscious, more passionate, and compassionate way of living. He taught that speech is never neutral. Words can build or destroy. They can bless or they can curse. They can comfort or wound. And often, Lashon Hara is subtle. It doesn't always come in the form of slander or open cruelty. It can slip into a sarcastic remark, a complaint disguised as a concern, or a joke told at someone's expense. The Chafetz Chaim warned that even casual, unintended words can carry real spiritual consequences for individuals and for the community. But equally powerful in his teachings is what he says about silence. In a world saturated with noise, with constant chatter and commentary, he saw silence not as absence, but as a form of presence, a discipline, a strength. In many cases, choosing not to speak is an act of holiness. The sages teach the fence for wisdom is silence. The Chafetz Chaim elevated silence into a spiritual practice, to hold back a comment, to resist a retort, to guard the tongue. This, he taught, is an act of divine service. And yet, and this is vital, silence is not always a virtue. Jewish law and the Chafetz Chaim himself are very clear. When harm is being done, we are obligated to speak, not to gossip, but to protect. when someone is being wronged, whether it's financially, emotionally, physically. Remaining silent is not piety, it's complicity. In such moments, talking about others is not a sin, but a mitzvah. Rabbi Moshe Chaim Luzzatto, in his Mesilat Yesharim, goes even further. He writes that when we fail to speak out against wrongdoing, when we have the ability to influence and remain silent, we become partners in the sin. Courageous speech, when wielded wisely and with integrity, is part of moral leadership. So we are left with a tension, a sacred balance. We must be vigilant against idle gossip, casual cruelty, and the kind of speech that takes away the dignity of others. But we must not hide behind the laws of Lashon Hara as an excuse for cowardice. There is a time to be silent and a time to speak. Knowing the difference is the work of a lifetime. And it is at the heart of what it means to live as a holy community. The Talmud asks, why is the tongue surrounded by two fences, teeth and lips? It teaches us that the tongue is a very dangerous prisoner, and the person must be careful with their words. What is the opposite of Lashon Hara, you may ask? Well, the antidote is Lashon Tov. The tongue has the power of life and death. Lashon Tov means choosing life, using your speech to uplift. It is words of praise, words of blessings, of comfort, of love. It's words that are true, words that are helpful, constructive, words that are kind, respectful, and uplifting. When we use this type of speech, we participate in an ongoing creation of a better world. May the words of our mouths and the meditations of our hearts be acceptable before you, O God, our rock and our Redeemer. And may we, like the peddler in the Rabbi Yanain story, offer all of us the true potion of life.